that. Hello and welcome to our study this week. We're diving into a lesson titled Living in the Land. It's a powerful theme that explores what it truly means to live as God's people in the place He has prepared for us. This week's key memory text comes from Proverbs 15, verse 1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. This single verse sets the stage for our entire discussion. It's about more than just words. It's about the heart behind them. We'll be looking at the story in Joshua chapter 22, where a huge misunderstanding nearly tore the nation of Israel apart. It's as a classic case of jumping to conclusions and how quickly things can escalate when we don't communicate with patience and grace. Think about it, controlling our own spirit, being slow to anger. The Bible says this is greater than conquering a city. That's a profound thought. True victory isn't just external, it's internal. It's about mastering ourselves through God's power. On Sunday, our study begins with the idea of commitment. We'll look at Joshua's farewell speech to the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. After years of faithful service, they were heading home. Joshua's charge to them was simple but deep. Love the Lord, walk in His ways, keep His commandments, and serve Him with all your heart and soul. This isn't just about following rules. It's about a heartfelt devotion, doing our service as unto the Lord, not just for people. Then on Monday, things take a dramatic turn. The returning tribes build a great altar by the Jordan River. The rest of Israel sees this and immediately assumes the worst. They think it's an act of rebellion, a second altar to compete with God's sanctuary. They gather for war, ready to attack their own brothers. This part of the story forces us to ask ourselves, how often do we judge others without knowing all the facts? The lesson reminds us not to judge by mere appearances, but to judge with righteous judgment. Tuesday's study, titled Haunted by the Past, explains why the Israelites reacted so strongly. They had a painful memory of the sin at Prov, recorded in Numbers 25, where apostasy led to a devastating plague. They were terrified that this new altar would bring God's judgment upon the entire nation once again. Their fear was rooted in a genuine desire to be faithful, but it was expressed through accusation instead of inquiry. They remembered how Achan's sin affected everyone, and they didn't want a repeat of that collective punishment. But then comes the beautiful turning point in Wednesday's lesson, a gentle answer. Instead of reacting with anger to the accusations, the eastern tribes respond with humility and clarity. They don't shout back. They explain. They calmly declare that the altar wasn't for sacrifice, but as a witnesser memorial, so that future generations would know they were also part of God's people. Their soft answer, just as Proverbs says, turned away the wrath of their brothers. They trusted God to vindicate them, and their gentle response de-escalated a crisis. Finally, Thursday brings us to conflict resolution. When the leaders of Israel heard the explanation, they were pleased. The threat of civil war vanished, and the conflict was resolved. The tribes on the other side of the Jordan even named the altar witness, because it stood as a testament between them that the Lord is God. This story is a masterclass in reconciliation. It teaches us the importance of being of one mind, having compassion, and showing love as brothers. It reminds us not to return evil for evil, but to offer a blessing instead. As we look at these stories, we see that living faithfully in the land God has given us requires patience, self-control, and a commitment to unity. It's about reflecting Christ's character, especially when we face misunderstandings, by mastering our own spirits through His grace. We can stand faithfully and be a powerful witness for Him. Thank you for joining this week's study. I hope it blesses you. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. See you next time.